The transfer portal was open and it was time for me to make my decision on what college I needed to go to and really prove that I was the best to do it, no matter what the age or any of that. To my surprise, I had gotten some calls from some teams and they were throwing the bag at me. Winning the Heisman last year definitely helped me with the age thing, but for the most part, teams were looking to win a national championship and they knew I could get it done. But if you remember, the goal was to go to a tough conference where my dominance couldn't be questioned. The first conference on my mind was the SEC. Now, I had gotten contacted by plenty of schools, but the one that caught my eye was Georgia. I caught this flight and I'm headed to speak with the coaches now. Wish me luck.
Corey, it's great to have you here. Winning that Heisman at New Mexico is really your calling card, and I'm just going to come right out and say it. We want you. No Diddy, of course.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for this opportunity.
That's good to hear, son. Now, there was someone I wanted you to meet before we get going. Corey, Kendall, Corey.
What's good, bro?
Now, you two are going to be the driving forces for this offense. Kendall is our star running back, and I need you two to get to know each other on and off the field because we're depending on you two to dominate this SEC this season.
That's cool with me.
Awesome. Now, Kendall here is going to be getting about 25 to 30 touches a game.
What?
We believe in our running game, and having you as a second force on this offense is going to make us unstoppable.
Okay.
Right. So I'll leave you two to the formalities and whatnot, and I'll be right back with you guys.
Look, bruh, I'm gonna keep this short and simple. You stole the Heisman from me last year, and now that you're here, it's an even playing field.
What?
Just make sure you give me the ball as much as possible. Dump downs, I need that. Deep balls, I need those. That plus the 30 touches I'm getting per game, there's no way I don't win Heisman.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, I know, nigga.
So as you can see, there are already red flags, but honestly, that makes me want to be here even more. This season was about to be a roller coaster. Let's get into it though. First game of the season, Coach held true to what he was saying about the run game. Our first two plays of the opening drive were run plays, and that's to be expected, but that interaction with Kendall prior to the season, I thought bro was gonna go crazy. Instead, he only gave us 6 yards those first two plays. Even on the next drive, Coach was really pushing for us to run the ball, but it just wasn't producing the way I thought it should with all the talk. Even on third down, we're running the ball. I didn't pitch it because I didn't want to turn the ball over, but Kendall was still upset for not getting the opportunity, and he let me know quickly on the sideline. But at my big age, I'm over this high school drama shit because clearly bro not who he thinks he is. I finally get to do some damage late in the second quarter, and on 1st and 10, I roll out to the right and find Brock tiptoeing to make the catch for 23 yards. Next play, I roll to the opposite side and find Brock again for 33 yards. I think I found my go-to receiver. But of course, as soon as I get going, Coach tries to run the ball, and Kendall not only gets smacked once, but on second down, he loses even more yards. 3rd and 14, bro. And I guess I'm the one who has to get us out of this hole as I scramble for 14 yards. I don't pick up the first. I bring the team right back to the line though. Find Brock underneath, who gets us all the way down to the 1-yard line. No hating, but luckily Kendall wasn't in the game as Coach runs the ball and we're finally on the scoreboard. Defense folds and I'm back on the field and Coach gives me a great play call. I roll to my right, buying some time, and look who's wide open down the field who cashes in a 73-yard touchdown. Bro, just looking at this makes me happy to know where I came from, not being able to throw that far even if I had to. Defense gives us incredible field position. I got us down to the 1, and on a slant I fire one into Marcus, putting us up 2 scores. Back out on the field, Clemson puts up a score, and this game is too close. And to make matters worse, Coach is back to the run game as Kendall gets absolutely destroyed and fumbles the ball on our own 35-yard line. Clemson ties the game up, and now we have to score. Handing the ball off to Kendall, and to my surprise, this goofy actually picks up some yards. Very next play, I'm moving to my left, find a dominant for a 27-yard pickup. 3rd and 3, Coach gives it to Kendall, and of course he goes nowhere, which sends the kicking team out, putting us up by 3. Defense has to come through to secure this win, and with 30 seconds left in the game, the defense picks a pass to put the nail in the coffin. Huge opening win as the #1 team in the nation against #9 Clemson, and I finished the game with 187 yards yards and 3 total touchdowns. Our first home game against South Carolina, and the trash can starts early on 1st and 10. He gets stopped in the backfield. Second down, he gets stopped in the backfield again. 3rd and 14, coach calls a screenplay and it goes nowhere. At this point, I'm lost because I could have sworn our offense was going to be nothing short of amazing. But no worries, as I come through, dotting up markers for 25 yards. Coach lets me throw again. This time I'm patient and I find Brock for a simple 25 yards. And then all my hard work is ruined as coach calls the same run play for Kendall, who can't score a touchdown if it was handed to him. But I'm not going to get on him too much. On 1st and 10 though, I'm finding my way out of the pocket for a gain of 23 yards. On 3rd and 4, I find Kendall on the drop down, who tried his best to get into the end zone but was stopped at the 1 yard line. The play after that, Kendall finally walks into the end zone. We went for 2 and got it, and that was the end of the game. I didn't do too much that game, only passed for 82 yards and rushed for 137. Coach really stuck to the run game this time, and it showed. His next game against North Texas, and we're now ranked number 2 in the nation. And coach, of course, started the opening drive with all runs. And now on 3rd and 5, I find Kendall, who actually starts to show some signs of life and goes down after a 24-yard gain. Kendall gets us down to the 2-yard line when coach calls a pass and play, and I take the opportunity to show coach who the real runner is on this team as I score the opening touchdown. Back out on the field after Kendall has ran nowhere on 3rd and 7. North Texas leaves Brock wide open, who breaks a tackle and is finally stopped after picking up 53 yards. Coach has to see that I'm the real playmaker out here for this team, because on 3rd and 5, I'm dotting up my tight end, Dylan Bell, for a touchdown, putting us up 2 scores. But when I tell you I'm really him, I have the tape to back it up. On 2nd and 25, I roll out to my right. Defense cheats up, leaving markers wide open down the field. I make the throw, and the rest is history. And as we should have, we blew these guys out, with me throwing for 270 yards in the air and 3 total touchdowns. Top 25 game against LSU today, and coach is still going crazy with the run plays. Like, I would really show you all of them, but I don't want to bore myself. But ironically, I go for 22 yards on the scramble. From the 17-yard line, I can smell the end zone as I have my eye on one target, and that's Brock, as he finds room on the right side of the field all alone, scoring a 17-yard touchdown. Defense gets us a stop, and I'm back on my mission, starting to drive off, hitting my favorite target, Brock, for an easy 1st down. Next play, coach calls slants, and I buy some time and find Ladd for a 15-yard gain. 2nd and 3, I'm finding Brock for another 16-yard gain through the air, really trying to show coach the ball only moves when I'm in control. 2nd and 8, I think my age is catching up to me as I scramble right. I see the end zone, but I get tackled from behind right before I can celebrate. 2nd and goal, I try to regain that feeling and take off to the right. Again, this time the end zone is not too far away, and I score. Right back out on the field, and thanks to the defense, we have a chance to go about 2 scores before half as I'm taking off for a 15-yard rush. Run game is working great as we lose 3 yards. So I do what I need to do, make sure we get those yards back and some on a crazy 27-yard scramble. Very next play, I buy some time, find Brock streaking up the field. He breaks 2 tackles after the catch and scores a tutty. Now, unfortunately, after that, coach really just ran the ball, running the clock out, and somehow we ended up giving LSU the lead. So here I am back out on the field trying to save us from losing this game. After that spectacular pitch and catch, I'm going for the home run as I see a lot of green in front of me, making LSU players look dumb until I'm brought down at the 1 yard line. Big 37-yard rush for me, and from the 1 yard line with the clock winding down, coach lets me be great as I dot up my guy Ra Thomas for the game-winning tutty. I couldn't do nothing but think if we hadn't wasted a quarter and a half running the ball, it wouldn't have had to come down to that. But I'll take the dub and being the hero of the night, throwing for 202 yards, rushing for 158 and 4 total touchdowns. Another SEC game against Tennessee, and the trend is coach lets Kendall run us into a hole. Then I'm supposed to save us on 3rd and 12. I drop back, not really seeing anything, rolling to my left and picking up 23 yards. 3rd and 4, I'm on the same thing, this time rolling to my right and getting the first before stepping out of bounds. 3rd and 8, I get my chance again. This time I buy some time, moving around outside of the pocket, and I dump it down to Ladd, who picks up 25 after the catch. And if you haven't noticed the trend right now, it's basically I get to be the playmaker every third down, and unfortunately coach wants me to give it to Kendall on the screen. That of course goes nowhere, but I call the team right back to the line to run the same play, but this time I keep it. I run away from the screen and I score. Y'all know Kendall had a lot to say about that on the sideline, but I didn't care. I had to put the points up. Back out on the field, and it's 3rd and 2. Time to save the day again. Coach calls the option, but I'm keeping the ball to make sure we pick up the first down. 1st and 10, coach is realizing I'm him and calls a throwing play, but no one is in position to catch the pass, so I'm putting my head down. No, I'm not sliding. I'm getting the first and whatever comes with it. In that moment, all I'm thinking is we're the number 2 team in the nation. Our points need to reflect that, as I'm forced to give the ball to Kendall for the first down. And here we go again. On 3rd and 2, coach calls a pass play, and I easily find Brock for another score. Tennessee gotta know that I'm that guy by now, because with 26 seconds left before half, I really get it to my bag. On 1st down, rolling out, finding Brock, who tiptoes to catch a 24-yard pass. Next play, I hit Brock on the same route, this time for 21 yards. Next play, my guys are pretty much covered, and I don't waste too much time for a play to develop, so I scoop for 9, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Next play, rolling to my left, finding Dominic for 11 yards before he gets out of bounds. 6 seconds left, and coach calls out the kicking team, and we put ourselves up by 10 going into halftime. Coming back from half, coach said let's focus on the passing game to start the second half, and I was geeked, because now is my time. Opening drive, I find Brock for 25. Next play, I roll to my left, find my guy Ladd for an easy pickup. Play after that, I don't see anything I like, and I scramble for 11 yards, moving us closer to the promised land. Coach let Kendall be trash, and here I am on 3rd and goal. Looking to my right, and I see enough room to sneak in for a tutty. Back to it, coach wants another touchdown, and who am I to say no? I'm rolling out, letting my guys make plays, and I hit Dominic for a 25-yard gain. Kendall got us a 2nd and 13 with his great running skills, and I'm looking at Brock's slide past defenders, and I reward him with a 22-yard steamer. 1st and 10, Tennessee sends a blitz, so I'm moving right and dump one down to Brock for a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and goal, Kendall couldn't get it done, so it's my turn as I'm moving to my right, waiting for Delp to get open. As soon as he does, I throw a strike and put us back up on the scoreboard. Coach said he wanted another one, so here we go. Rolling to my right, waiting for someone to come through. I find Marcus for 14 yards. 2nd and 10, a little play action, and I see the pressure, so I work my way through it, taking off for 32 yards. 1st and goal, all my receivers are in man coverage, which means I'm free to walk right into the end zone, and this was a little overkill. I think coach had a little personal matter to settle with Tennessee, because this was a slaughter. I finished the game with 232 passing yards, 160 yards running, and 5 total tutties. You would think after last week's performance that coach would let me cook, but here we are on 3rd and 5. He calls a screenplay, and the only way to make this work is if I drop all the way back so Marcus can pick up 18 yards. 2nd and 6, I'm sitting in the pocket waiting on Brock to get open, and he does as he picks up 19 yards. 1st and 10, coach calls slants, and I can tell by the way my receivers are being pressed, it's man coverage, so I make up in my mind that I'm taking this one to the crib before the snap, and that's exactly what I do. Back out on the field, defense only gives up 3. I'm buying some time finding Marcus for a 21-yard pickup. Kendall couldn't do nothing with it, so on 3rd and 10, I'm saving the day as I connect with Brock yet again for 36 yards. 2nd and 9, this is where all my trash talking comes to bite me in the ass. I'm rolling to my right, and I see nothing but field in front of me. I'm thinking score, but the defensive player pops the ball right from my hands as I fumble on the 4-yard line, bro. Major mistake on my part. I'm really pissed I did that, so from here on out, I'm locked in. Previous drive, I could only get 3. As you can see, we're on the 8-yard line. Coach said read option. I'm keeping it and fighting my way into the end zone. 35 seconds left before half. I'm rolling to my left. I throw one up to Brock, who comes down with it and scores a 74-yard tutty. Missouri puts up some points, but I'm still pissed about that fumble, so I turn on the Jets right out the gate, and I'll slide on this one. 2nd and 5, I'm trying to score with all this room in front of me. I'm not thinking about sliding, but the defense crashes those plans after 28 yards. Coach unfortunately gives the ball to Kendall, and he finally scores a touchdown off my hard work. Here is where I'm really pissed off, because Coach literally ran the ball the rest of that game, which gave Missouri time to catch up, and somehow we're in overtime. You can't make this shit up, bro. Opening play, I dump down the Ladd for a 1st down. 1st and goal, coach calls the read, and I'm keeping it, scoring the first tutty in OT. Missouri puts up their points, and it's back on me. 3rd and 4, Brock is wide open. I put it where he can get it, taking us down to the 3-yard line. Coach calls the slants. I dump it down to Brock, who fights for the score. I'm knowing we need a score right now On 2nd and 3rd, Brock destroys his defenders. I dot him up at the very last second, and he's in again. Coach says go for 2, and I throw one of the tightest passes ever as I see Marcus in the back of the end zone, and it's a strike. Missouri couldn't answer back, and that's game. I threw for 289 yards and rushed for 206 with 6 total touchdowns. I'm starting to feel like my old Heisman self again. Speaking of feeling like my old Heisman self again, guess who's on the Heisman board again? And guess who's not on it? Look, bro just got to understand that I'm the better player. He had his opportunities. I mean, if you're getting more touches than yards, whose fault is that? I'm just doing my job. I want a national championship, and that's all I'm worried about. Now, going back for the Heisman win won't hurt either, but I'm not tripping. I just think it's funny how all this shit played out. This next game against Vanderbilt was a run-heavy game, but I still put up some numbers. On 2nd and 10, I see Brock streaking down the field, and I lob one up to him for a 37-yard gain. 2nd and goal, I'm not seeing anything I trust, so I roll to my right and find my way into the end zone. 2nd and 1, I'm sitting in the pocket all day. Finally, I roll out and hit Brock for a 15-yard pickup. 2nd and 3, the play coach drew up had everyone on the right side of the field, so I immediately roll out to my left and scramble for another tutty. That was a nice little game, nothing too serious. Now we got number 5 Florida in an SEC game, so you know I got to ball out when given the opportunity. First play, I'm moving to my right and I find Brock, who has the tiptoe to pick up 12 yards. Next play, I'm sitting in the pocket and no one found room yet, so I buy some time. Finally, seeing Marcus throwing across my body, getting there first. Next play is a play action, and no way is my guy Dominic wide open. I toss him one, and that's a 40-yard touchdown on our opening drive. Back out on the field. Coach wants a screenplay for Kendall, but I'm not going for it. I hear the DBs yell, "Screen!" And I look downfield as they come back, leaving Dominic wide open yet again, cashing in a 35-yard tutty. Listen, we slutted out Florida, and that was game. Beating our rivals, and they were a top 5 school. Spirits were high for us. After that game against Florida, we back in that number 1 spot against Auburn, and I'm trying to dog any team matched up against us to keep it. 2nd and 10, coach calls a quick 10-yard drop, and Ladd not only catches the ball, he breaks the tackle and turns upfield before being stopped after gaining 71 yards. 1st and goal, coach calls the read, and I'm keeping it, swerving my way into the end zone. Back out on the field, it's 2nd and 6. I see Dylan underneath, who turns a dump down into an 18-yard pickup. Next play, I'm sitting back, I see Brock has beat his man, and I air one out. Brock comes down with it, and it is stopped at the 1-yard line. From there, coach calls the sweep for Kendall, who walks it in. Now back from half, Auburn put up some points, and this game is a little too close for me as Brock picks up the first on a pitch and catch. 3rd and 5, I'm not trying to end this drive here, so I get scooting and I swerve in and out, picking up the first and a lot more. 2nd and 7, I'm on that same thing. As none of my guys are open, I move to my right and I'm back in for a tutty. Coach not satisfied with the lead, sends me out on 3rd and 2 to get the first, and I find Marcus for a bit more. Further up the field on 3rd and inches, I'm doing it again, rolling to my right and getting in for a 13-yard touchdown. Big win over another rival and big numbers from me with 243 passing and 134 on the ground with 3 total touchdowns. Now this next game against Kentucky, who has a surprisingly good record, was sickening. I'm starting off the game rolling out, hitting Delp for 15. Right after that, I roll out again. This time I see Ladd downfield beating his man for a crazy 56-yard pickup. From there, it's an easy pitch to Brock for a 5-yard tutty. 3rd and 8, you know I'm picking on the right side of the field, finding Brock being double teamed for a 22-yard gain. 2nd and 5, I'm moving to my left, hitting Dominic, who turns upfield for a 25-yard gain. 4th and goal, I'm not seeing anything I like, rolling to my right, getting upfield and fighting my way in. 2nd and 18, thanks to Kendall, I'm going to get us out of this hole as I'm scrambling to my right, working my way down to the 41-yard line. 2nd and 3, I see Brock again, who fights his way down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, coach wants me to get it in, so I'm not really seeing anything I like, so I use my legs, getting us another tutty. I'm not even going to bore y'all, so let's keep it pushing. 1st and 10, I throw one to Marcus for a 17-yard touchdown. 1st and 10, I see Brock beating his defender, I dot him up for 24 yards. Tutty. And that touchdown actually broke the record for most touchdown receptions in a season. Now that was a brutal game. I'm just as glad it's over as Kentucky is, but I threw for 328 yards and 5 total touchdowns. Now this is the last game of the regular season, and it's against Georgia Tech. It's 3rd and 9 thanks to Kendall, but I'm surveying the field. I see Ladd with a huge lead on his man. I toss one up with all I had, and he comes down with it at the 7-yard line. 2nd and goal, coach calls the read option, and you know I'm keeping it for the tutty. Back out on the the field, only up 7 points. I find Marcus across the middle who gets smacked, but he holds on to the ball. 4th and 1. I'm looking for Brock, who is wide open on the right side of the field, and he goes down after gaining 41 yards. Brock is breaking another school record for 218 yards in a game. Now on 1st and 10, coach calls the read again, and I keep it and turn up the field for 12 yards. Read option again. 1st and goal, and this time I'm fighting my way in for a tutty. And that is how we went undefeated this season. And this last game of the regular season, I threw for 363 yards and 2 total touchdowns. So boom, here we are, SEC championship game, and I'm locked in. 1st and 10, rolling out, getting everybody fired up with a 15-yard scramble. 3rd and 4, I'm buying time, rolling out left. I see Brock downfield, and I dump it to him, picking up 39 yards. 3rd and 2 in the red zone, nice play action, rollout. And I see Delp scoring the first points in this championship game. Back on, and it's 3rd and 6. I wait some time before taking off in this man coverage, securing a first down and 24 yards. 3rd and 4, I'm throwing a steamer to Marcus for 11. Very next play, Marcus is open again across the middle of the field, picking up 18. 3rd and 4 in the red zone. I'm rolling to my left, and Marcus has a slight window, and I dot him up in the end zone, scoring again. Defense gives up a score, but special team cashes one in, and we're right back at it. I could have hit Brock, but there was too much pressure, so I take off, getting the first and a bit more. 4th and inches thanks to Kendall. I'm getting us out of this hole as I pitch one to a wide open Marcus, who gets us 7 yards on the play. That next play, I know I'm leaning on Marcus as he's somehow wide open in the back of the end zone. I throw a steamer right to him, put us back up on the scoreboard. We ran the ball, and Mississippi State has scored twice, making this a 10-point game, but I want more. I throw up a prayer, and some way Kendall came down with it, keeping his drive alive. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Coach calls the read, and I'm taking off to cap off this SEC championship game. What a freaking win. And we did it as the #1 team in college football. The boys were too lit, and I was excited to be the leader of this team and the reason we won so dominantly. I finished this game with 189 yards passing and 133 yards on the ground with 4 total touchdowns. And that wasn't the only win in the book. I'm proud to say that I did go back-to-back as a Heisman Trophy winner. Man, from where I started to now, if you would have told me I would win the Heisman once, I would have laughed in your face. But to win it twice? Come on, bro. I'm trying not to let this get to my head, but I'm really that guy. Not only that, but I won the Robert Maxwell, the Walter Camp Award, and the Davey O'Brien Award. And you know who wasn't happy about that.
I would say congratulations, but we all know you stole that trophy from me.
How was that? You weren't even on the list.
Bitch, shut up.
Nigga didn't even win the best running back award. How you gonna win the Heisman?
Bitch ass nigga, I'll beat your ass right here.
Hey, you talking real tough, but ain't did shit yet.
Nigga, fuck you.
Yeah, alright, bitch, nigga. Look, outside of the beef, I enjoyed my time here in Georgia. I honestly have no complaints. From the fans, the boosters, the NIL money. Shit, I'm thinking about staying another year. But before we can get into all that, I got a national championship to win. National championship game, and it's against Louisville. No offense, but Louisville is crazy. I'm starting the game hitting my guy Ladd for an easy 18-yard pickup. 3rd and 11 thanks to you know who. I'm rolling out to the right, hitting dominant for a 26-yard gain. 3rd down again, and I'm moving left. I see Marcus, who makes an incredible 19-yard catch, putting us in the red zone. 3rd and 16, bro. Like, what is this guy doing? It's okay, though, because I see Brock wide open. He catches it, and it's taken down right before the end zone. But on 1st and goal, Kendall gets the ball and literally walks into the end zone. Like, come on. Back on the field, 2nd and 5. Nobody is ready for the ball, so I get the first use of my legs. Next play, I drop back and I see Brock wide open, close to the sideline for a nice gain before he steps out of bounds. I know he wanted that touchdown. 1st and 10 on the 14, and coach calls the option. And even though I could have pitched it, Kendall gets nothing from me, and I'm in the end zone for a tutty. Second and 10, we're up 14. Receivers are covered, so I'm taking off, picking up 15 yards. First and 10 in the red zone. Dominic flashes across the middle of the field, easy 10-yard gain. Second and inches from the 3-yard line, slants is the play, empty field on the left side. I take advantage of it. Lad gets open, and I dump it down to him in the end zone, making this game a potential blowout. It's 21-3, still in the first half, and we're back out on the field. I'm just doing what I do best, and that's making plays. Getting the first before being knocked out of bounds. The next play, Dominic is wide open down the field, so I toss him one for a huge pickup. Second and goal from the 2-yard line. I'm running this one in with one man to beat, and we're up big in this national championship game. And unfortunately for Louisville, it doesn't end there. On 2nd and 5, I see Dominic again wide open, and he makes a great catch for a 50-yard bump. From there, I give my guy some time, and I find Marcus this time, who picks up 15. It's 4th and goal. Kendall has his chances, and here I am again, this time dotting up Brock for a 17-yard tutty. Listen, if you showed up to this game, I apologize, because this was a blowout from the beginning, and what a way to cap off my junior year playing college football. Back-to-back Heisman wins, back-to-back bowl wins, and one of them being a national championship is crazy. I finished this game with 279 in the air, 131 on the ground, and 4 total touchdowns. As much work as I put in this season, I'm undeniably the best college quarterback you've ever seen. I'm really the best to ever do it. Now, will I go pro? I don't know yet. We'll have to save that question for another day. But for now, I'm enjoying the moment. Starting to get rocky for Raiden as far as the NBA goes. But it wasn't what you might be thinking. There wasn't any disputes between teammates or anything like that, but the Orlando Magic team was on a crazy losing streak, and that was due to some critical injuries that would have some impact players out for the season. Now, with all the L's the team was taking, management wanted to